Hi everyone, Sherman here, and today I'm going to do a reassembly video of this Kizer brass sheepdog. All you can see now is the brass scale, but guys, I'm going to show you how to reassemble it, and the reason why I disassemble in the first place is because of this pocket clip that was stuck here because of the T6 screws that got stripped. So I had to whack the crap out of the screw so that it comes out when I take out the scale, and I'm going to link the video down below in the description. You can click on that and you can see how I managed to get this pocket clip out, right? And now I disassembled it so that I can spray some silicone spray on it to protect the scales. So I'm going to show you guys now when you put them back together. I guess this is the first video of how you disassemble and reassemble a Kizer Sheepdog. So one thing you have to remember, okay, keep this in mind. I've done this video a few times. I had to delete the previous videos because I was not able to reassemble it properly, and the reason why is because of this part. Okay, just have a look here. See this? Okay, do you see this? This is actually the hole for the button lock, and right here I have this annoying frame for the button lock, right? So I pushed it in. Okay, I just to put this in. You can see the frame is in now, and it has to go into the brass scale and not the liners, right? It must be below the liners, and then you put the liner on top of the scale, and the button basically the what do you call this is the lock bar is here as well, and then remember the button lock frame is below it. Okay, below it, keep that in mind. That's what gave me a headache for hours. So now you have got this complex thing done. What you want to do is, okay, I'll tell you guys this. I've just learned this in like so many hours, so you guys can learn from my mistakes. You want to put in the spacer, okay, and then you're gonna screw the spacer in first. Why do you want to do this? So that you'll keep it in place, right? When you are actually fixing it, you'll not give you a headache and drop apart, right? So you're gonna take the T8 screw here, the T8 screw, and then you're gonna screw it into the spacer. Okay, so now the spacer is stuck here and the liner is stuck in as well. So let's do it for the second spacer behind. Okay, let's get the T8 screw again. There we go. There are actually 4 T8 screws for the back part of the scale and 1 T8 screw for the pivot, right? So the great thing about this sheepdog, brass sheepdog, I don't know if some of the other sheepdog has the same thing, but this has 2 T8 screws to affix to the 2 back spacers behind. And once you get that in, that's a big part of the job done already. Okay, next you want to get this, which is the pivot point for your blade. Okay, so the pivot point only goes in one way. You wouldn't get lost because there's a flat side that goes in. Just turn it until it goes in, and then you will have your blade, the star of the show. Okay, to be careful not to drop this blade. It's gonna cut me. So you see on the blade itself there is a ball bearing. Okay, so the other side of the ball bearing has dropped out. Let's put the ball bearing back. Okay, yeah, so ball bearing, I sprayed the silicone spray on the ball bearing, so it doesn't matter which side you put it in, they are both smooth, I guess, right? So once you're in, it doesn't matter which orientation you put it in, right? And then once you're in, you can put the blade into the scale. Okay, remember that is the what do you call that, the lock bar, which prevents the knife from going back, as you can see. and then when it comes down, okay, this is how it works. It comes down, it's supposed to hit the button, right? Hit the button. Okay, now you have to put the button in. Okay, let's get the button. So this is a button. You can see the button here is one side is round, I mean there's a hole, and then the other side there's the button itself. So you know which side goes out, the button has to go out. So you just put the button into the hole. Okay, you just have to be careful here not to cut myself, okay, or yourself while putting the button in. So yeah, so just put a button in, and once the button is in, as you can see, oops, make sure the captive pivot is down there, the button is there. It's like a mini Lego city. You have the pivot, you have the lock bar, you have the button, right? So once you have that down, the spring goes on top of the button, right? The spring goes on top of the button here. I'm going to show you guys, right? Okay, the spring goes on top of the button, and then all you have to do next is just cover it like a sandwich, okay, with the other side of the scales, the brass scales. Now this side, the stainless steel liners do not have any any features, so there are no extra things you have to put in. Just put the liner onto the brass scale, and then you sandwich it. You sandwich this on top of the other side. Okay, so once you sandwich it in, okay, you can see the button has just popped up a bit. It's still okay. Just make sure that the spring, it's springy, right? It's springy. Okay, you have to be careful that the knife doesn't drop on me, the blade doesn't drop on me. Then you want to put the pivot screw. Okay, this is a T8 screw, and then all you have to do is screw it in, right? Screw it in, and it should be done. Okay, screw it in, and then we should be done. There we go, it's done. This side is still loose, so I need to tighten it a bit more. The button is loose, right? So we have to make sure that we tighten it to the point where the button is not loose. I'm gonna put it down so that I can tighten it properly. Okay, okay, so there we go. Now we have this, and the button is in, and it should work. Just test it to see if it works. Oops, the button is off-centered, so yeah, I have to make sure that I adjust the button. There we go, adjust the button, and then okay, we need to readjust the button because it's not in yet, so I've got to take it out again. But because I've already screwed it in properly just now, it's not that difficult. You just have to take it out, make sure that the spring, okay, the spring is on the right place. It's most probably a bit off, and that's what's causing the problem right now. Okay, make sure the spring is there. Okay, okay, adjust the spring tension. I mean the spring alignment. Okay, you can adjust the spring tension. Okay, so I just have to make sure that the spring, okay, the spring it's not working, so something is wrong. I think the button is off, so what I'm gonna do is take it, realign the button first. Okay, I'll show you guys how to realign the button. See, the button is just like this, right? So you have to realign it, make sure that it pops up. Okay, and then we will put in the liners. Now because the liners are already out and not on the brass, I can show you guys right now. I just put it on top so you can actually see that the button pops up here, right? It's easier to see, and this is where the two T8 screws will go in, the back spacer, and then I'll put the brass on top of it. Now the thing is, you can see here, this is the pivot point, the button. So the button has to be adjusted properly. It's very annoying because of the spring there. Okay, let's put the spring on top. Yeah, and then we have to adjust it while we are screwing down the scale. Okay, so now we have the scale in. Check the button works. Doesn't seem to work. Okay, I can feel it. It's working now. Okay, now I have to screw it in. Okay, just make sure that the button is working before you screw it in, apparently. Okay, so yeah, the button should be working. Okay, wait, let me screw it more tight. Of course, the back part needs to be screwed in as well. Okay, the back part with these spaces. Remember, we only screwed in one side, so we need to screw in the two back spaces behind. I don't want it screwed too tight. I'm not using it to chop wood, so forget all the Loctite stuff. We don't need those Loctite stuff. I just need to make sure that this is screwed in so that it's at least you feel that it's solid, right? And the button here, you can feel that, you can see that it's popping out a bit. I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah. So you can see the button popping out a bit because the spring is pushing on it. And then there we go. So yep, so it's working. You need to adjust it a bit to get the action right again. Okay, let's see, now I've already adjusted it. Okay, awesome, there we go. So yeah, and then the last part would be to put in this what do you call this pocket clip, right, with a T6 screwdriver, but I'm not going to put it in yet because this part, you know, when I hit it out, it got bent, so I actually need to burn it a bit with this, right, to get it heated up and so that it gets the shape back, right? So I want my shape back before I put it in. I'm going to do that later, but as you can see, everything is good here with my Kizer Sheepdog. And this is probably the first disassembly video. Reassembly, you just did it. I mean, disassembly, I didn't do the disassembly, but you can just basically put this in reverse and then you know how to disassemble it really easy. Just remove these screws first and then remove this screw and then you just take it out. It's really really easy to disassemble. The only thing is when you reassemble, like I said, remember the frame around this button lock and then you are good to go, right? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you like to see more of this kind of videos, please do comment down below, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and remember to click that notifications bell so that you'll always get notified once I post some video. So I'll see you guys. Please do comment down below and tell me what you guys like to see next, and hopefully we'll be able to create that. I'll see you guys. Take care now. Thank you. Bye.